I'm Dan Albers, and welcome to Dingo and the Coach. I am Dingo, and this is the Coach. And Steve, excited to bring another episode of Dingo and the Coach here. And
number two,
and we are in honor of opening day. We're sitting here watching the actual game right here before we got set up. But
it's not really though, because they're not home.
Yeah, that's true. It's we can get into that a little bit later. But in honor of opening day, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
I kind of want to throw out a little angle of how things have turned between the two franchises. So
I agree.
We're going to go ahead and start with the Cincinnati Bengals, and just an unbelievable, phenomenal year. To say in the beginning of the year they're going to go to the Super Bowl, I would have laughed and I would have given you $1,000 that said there's no way it's going to happen.
I would have taken it. No, I mean, how awesome was that? How fun was that? I mean, it brought us back to 1990 when the Bengals were really good then.
It did, and I'll tell you what, and they always, everybody talks about the quarterback, and he made a big difference this year. And if they didn't have Joe Burrow, I don't know if they would have gone as far as they would.
I don't think there's any question of that. And I can't remember back in 1990 how that was when they went to the Super Bowl. I can't remember the feeling of like, okay, we're going to be this good all the time. But right now, I think we're going to be really good for the next 5+ years.
Well, and think about that. How good they were with probably one of the worst offensive lines of all of football.
The guy got sacked 70
like 5 times, in the 70s. But not only that, Steve, if you saw the Pro Football Focus grades, their ratings for those offensive linemen were freaking horrible.
Well, now the Bengals went out and spent some money to protect the franchise,
and it's going to make a huge difference.
Imagine that. I mean, what that could do, even on that last play in the Super Bowl, if they would have blocked for him for just 2 seconds longer,
they would have won the Super Bowl. Because you see the thing with Jamar Chase running down the sideline. He beat whatever his name is. So okay. So what we're going to talk about here is just for how many years was everybody upset with Mike Brown? And Mike Brown was a cheapskate, wouldn't do anything. No. I remember hearing the stories about they didn't even have towels. They didn't even have, you know what I mean? Like, no, seriously, like they barely had any stuff for equipment for the guys to get dressed and ready. And now they got the Hall of Fame.
Right.
They're engaging the fans. And now they're thinking about putting a freaking bubble or a practice facility. I mean, just things have changed. And I heard Jonathan India or somebody on there today talking about it's still a baseball town. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's starting to turn over to that football town with the Bengals.
Well, with those players, with Chase, they're so exciting, and Burrow, obviously. And then you talk about all these other ones, T. Higgins, and all these offensive linemen that they've brought in now. I mean, it's so exciting. Now, obviously, they got a target on their back going into next year. But how fun is it going to be to watch these guys?
And I'll tell you what, I was surprised at C.J. Houshmandzadeh leaving, or not? What's his name? Not TJ. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? CJ Uzomah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because he was he was a leader.
I thought, but I mean, think about it though. If someone offers you that kind of money, you're going to leave. I'm sorry.
Money drives it.
I mean, but it's not always the best to do that. But I mean, I was kind of surprised that he left.
I was too, because you have to decide how much does the money factor into it as opposed to wanting to win a championship.
Obviously the money was
because he's going to the Jets. Now they're going to be better, but I'm not sure they're going to reach a Super Bowl.
Well, and you're going from Joe Burrow to
I don't know
who's their quarterback. It's that guy from BYU, whatever his name was.
I'm not sure.
Well, hey, but they beat the Bengals.
They did.
It was an unbelievable game, and it should have never happened. But I mean, just I mean, just like you said, it was I just remember how crazy those games were. The end of those games, and just not only that, but how unbelievable was it for the city? Not only have the Bengals, but the Bearcats in the
football,
college football playoffs. And I remember, Steve. I remember. I don't know if we got together on any of those games. I remember going to varsity to watch the first game.
Yeah,
I think it was against the Tennessee Titans. Is that right?
That might have been the second?
No. Yeah, the first game was the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember it was an unbelievable game. And then the next one was the tie. And I think we went to the varsity.
Yeah.
And it was just the
excitement.
People were going, strangers were hugging us. It's been such a long time coming.
Well, that's probably a part of it. Yeah. It's because they've been mediocre for so long, and we talk about Mike Brown and everything. I think the younger generation of the Browns are starting to take over.
Oh, well, is it the granddaughter?
The daughter and the granddaughter. Yeah, and so they're spending more. They get it. They've made plenty of money, even though they were bad, and now look at what they're doing. And we haven't even got to the NFL draft.
And just think about that. They're sitting pretty. They can do whatever they want, sitting at that level at 31 or whatever they're at, and they can make a trade. They can They got the lineman that they needed, and they could probably get another lineman.
Yeah. So let me ask you, what's Marvin Lewis thinking right now? Why did he do this for me when I was here?
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. So I have never been a Zach Taylor fan ever,
really?
And you know that.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Because Greg and Brad and I and Steve always do these texts, and I just rip them because I was at UC when he was the offensive coordinator there, and I thought how bad, and he just reminded me of the days back then.
But he's grown, he's gotten better. He went to the Super Bowl.
Let's see what happens next year.
He's our guy.
Let's just see what happens.
He's our guy.
Let's see what happens next year.
All right.
So, but yeah, so that's so the Bengals kind of turned, what we always expected in the city of Cincinnati for the Reds.
Right.
And now the Reds have gone the opposite direction, I think, and have gone the direction of the old Bengals.
Man.
But let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, what are your feelings on the fire sale, I guess, if you want to call it? What do you think about all that?
Well, I think it's terrible for the fan base because you get attached, to some of these players, and they're good guys, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're gone. Now, we talk about how money drives it, and that's a part of it, but at some point, you got to pony up, and we're such a small market, so it's hard to compete against the Dodgers of the world.
Here's the thing is, they say it's money, but was it really money? I mean, so they trade Winker for $3 million, whatever it was. I agree on the Suarez, right? I agree on that. But Winker was, let's say he was 7.
Yeah.
Whatever. They get rid of Barnhart, which was some money. But then they go out and trade for a guy that's on the disabled list for $9 million.
Right.
I don't know what their vision is. What's their vision?
So I don't know firsthand, but I'm thinking because all those guys had great years, and this coming year their contract was up. Yeah. So they probably weren't going to sign him. I mean, they could have held on to him and maybe trade him in the middle of the season.
Well, what about
they were going to lose him?
Was Sonny Gray one of those?
Probably. I mean, they could have held on to him and traded him in the middle of the season if things weren't going well.
Well, here's the thing. I would be okay with all these trades, but every time that we've traded in the past when we thought it was a fire sale, we got zilch back. We got nothing back for Aroldis Chapman.
I know.
We got we traded freaking Rafael Iglesias, and the guy we cut him.
Yeah.
I mean, so if we're gonna do this, these guys better do something. That's all I got to say.
Well, I mean, how many years have we lived through the rebuild? I mean, it's been since 1990 since the Reds were in the World Series.
But why is Castellini up until this year? Why is he getting a pass? Why was he getting a pass all the time? If Mike Brown would have done all this like this, he would have got ripped. Mike Brown always got ripped.
Okay,
right?
Yeah. So
why is Castellini getting a pass?
Well, because the one thing that the Reds do unbelievable at is the fan experience at the game. And that's not an excuse. You go down there, and there's so much to do down there, and it's a great, kid-friendly and everything like that. But it's all about what's on the field.
So it's a lot different than when we used to play that game, the mound ball, where we used to drink. So they're doing more than that now?
Oh, yeah. It's way more than that.
And you spend $20 on a beer.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think it's like 11. I was down there the other day. I think it's like 11 for one draft beer now.
That's crazy.
Well, they got to pay Joey Votto's
do you remember when we used to spend $1.25 or $1.50 or $3.50 for a beer?
$3.50.
And now we're, what, $11?
Yeah. It's sad. It's really sad.
It sucks.
We would only be allowed to have a couple then. couple beers.
Oh, we would only have one or two. Yeah.
no, but do you see what I'm saying about the difference? Like the Reds have done a great job of creating a fun place to go, except for on the field. The Bengals, for many years, that stadium was just concrete down there, and they did nothing. They didn't have the Wall of Fame, or what do they call it?
The Hall. Oh God, what do they call it?
Something honor.
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. You know, they had nothing down there.
Yeah.
And now they're spending money. They're getting the talent. They're drafting right. You know, and they're doing things.
You know what?
Different.
The cool thing that I love that they do is the ruler of the jungle, where they bring back.
Oh yeah,
that is cool as crap.
Yeah, that is cool.
I mean, and I like it. So I mean, I think
didn't they carry Icky Woods in there?
I don't know if they carried him in, but I know he was part of it. And then they had Kay Adams, who's on the NFL Network. She came one time from the ruler of the jungle. I mean, they're just getting a lot of. But again, so now if you're watching all the pulp, you know, all the shows and everything, they're saying that the Bengals won't even make the playoffs. That's what they're saying.
Well, where can I bet that?
I mean, it's just so. But let's get into. I mean, some more of the Reds here, though. I mean, so like their payroll right now. I mean, it's
so they cut out so much, and again, here we are back to a rebuild, right? You know, and I mean, they got rid of all these guys. You know, the All Stars. You know, Winker and who's
Suarez.
Was Suarez on the? No, he wasn't on the All Star team.
Oh, Castellanos, they let go.
Yeah. You know, those guys, and I mean, it's just unbelievable. So the Reds, comparing to the other teams in Major League Baseball, the Reds' salary is a little over $100 million, which sounds crazy. The Dodgers is almost $300 million.
Yeah, it's crazy.
$300 million.
Well, and think about, like, I'm just thinking, like, Castellanos just signed with the Phillies, and they signed Bryce Harper to like a $300 million contract.
How the hell did they do that?
Castellanos to a whatever he was.
I know.
I mean, and again, are they going to be in a fire sale here in a couple years? Because
if they don't win, they will.
Salaries are, because I remember the Phillies did it a long time ago when they went to the World Series, and then they had to get rid of it. But when they had Howard and all those guys, they're going to have to do the same thing.
If they lose,
I mean,
if they lose, they will.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we were sitting there watching before we came on. We saw the first inning, and shockingly, the Reds are up already 1-0. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. Are they gonna sustain? You know, like.
Well, I'm looking at the roster, Danny, and I claim to be a pretty big Cincinnati Reds fan.
Right.
And because of all the guys they've gotten rid of and all the ones they're bringing in, I'm looking at, and I only know a little over half the roster. And I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm not the least fan. And I'm looking at some of these names. I'm like, I got to learn who some of these guys are.
When it was funny, before we went on, we were talking about the one pitcher. What do you call him? Santillan or
San Martin.
San Martin. Never heard of the guy.
Reaver San Martin.
Where did he come from?
I don't know. He might win the Cy Young, but I don't know who the hell he is.
Well, but here's another one. So they say they're trying to do everything they can, and I think what was put off the fans, really pissed the fans off, I think, was when Phil Castellini said, "Don't believe the media. We're trying to win. We're going to the playoffs," and they just did all that, and then they cut Shogo Akiyama. They're paying him $8 million a year just to let him go. So there's $8 million. So if you're going to,
I was okay with that. He wasn't very good, Danny.
Well, no, I'm okay with that. But what I'm saying is, there's mixed messages here.
Yeah,
you're getting rid of all these guys, but then you go out and get a $9 million journeyman pitcher.
Right.
And you're saying you're cutting payroll, but then you get a $9 million guy. Then you go out and sign this guy from San Diego that's for $6 or $7 million.
Yeah.
Well, combined, I don't even know if that was the same with Suarez and Winker. You know what I mean? So there's mixed messages.
Right. Well, I was looking at the salaries for the Reds, going into today, which is the opening day down in Atlanta for the Reds. And they have 9 guys that make over $3 million a year. The rest of them are way below that. They're almost at the league minimum. The league minimum is like close to $1 million a year. God. So so that means there's 15 other players. I think they can carry 28 now. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, it's a crazy number. So they have 9 players that make over $3 million. To your point about the Bengals have 18 players that make over $3 million a year.
That's crazy. Well, and again, let's look at this though. There's more men. There's 53 on the roster for the Bengals, and there's not as many on.
You want to do your Shashi percentages there?
It's probably about.
Don't even try it.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know
Wait, no,
I don't know.
Well, then what are you giving me shit
Because
for?
you're going to fake it. You're going to fake
I was sitting there trying to figure it out. I don't know what it is, but it's the percentage. I don't know. It's frustrating as a Cincinnati Reds fan that all this is happening. This town it showed with the Bengals.
Yeah.
The town will go nuts for a winner. It does for UC. Look at all the people going to the UC games.
Yep.
It's nuts and crowded. And I think people just want effort and just think about back in the day, Ryan Field playing, Chris Steins, they loved hustle, and they get guys out there, they're going to bust their ass and they're going to love it, and they'll love the team.
But you can't keep having fan favorites and getting rid of them.
That's
You're going to continue to lose fan base.
But you have to you got to get rid of them when it's time to get rid of them, though. Like, they can't string it out. Like, I think Larkin strung it out a little too long.
Yeah.
I know they wanted to keep him, but then it kills the team. You know what I mean? Like, that financially strapped him at the time.
Well, Larkin, you can say that about Larkin, but in the 90s for the Reds, or late 90s, when they brought Griffey in, all right, he was going to eat up a majority of the salary cap for the Reds, for what they were paying. No different than what it is with Joey Votto. Joey Votto makes $25 million a year.
But okay, so all right, let's say that. But think about all these teams. So how is it so unfair balanced between all these teams? Like, how can the Dodgers do that and the Reds can't? They all get the same. Don't they get most of the same television rights?
But it's all about the owner who has the deeper pockets. That's what it is. I mean, you think about who owns the Dodgers.
Don't they have like I thought they always had like a limit. Like you had a certain cutoff, like the luxury tax and all that stuff, where you can't.
Well, there is a certain limit, especially for rookies. And more so, I think what you're thinking about is football, because there's definitely an equal salary cap across the board for football.
Well, I mean, and then the Reds and the small market teams are never going to win.
Well, and that's why it's been 40 years or 30 years since they were in the World Series.
So, did you go to any opening days?
I've been to a lot.
Have you?
I'm actually going Tuesday.
You son of a bitch! Didn't even ask me. I'm cool. I'm good. That's all right. Maybe we can do a live broadcast from Grand American Ballpark.
I won at parade too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Sorry.
Why don't you do a live report? Why don't you just do a live report on your own?
I may do that. I'll film it. Yeah. No. Yeah, well, and that's the real opening day.
It is.
I mean, so this whole first week, these 5 games, wherever they play.
And what a schedule.
Yeah, they have a tough
Dodgers,
schedule. But that to me doesn't even count. It's still spring training, even though it's going to count on the record. The opening day is next Tuesday.
Any favorite opening day sticks in your mind?
Well, it's not a favorite, but I know you'll remember this when we were in high school and we were juniors or seniors.
If you say the one I'm thinking, I'm going to die.
So everybody in our class had, I guess, money, and we didn't, and they all went to spring break. Down to Florida, and we didn't have enough money to do that, and so we stayed and watched the opening day of the Reds, and it snowed that day.
Okay, now hold on. And I was thinking
it snowed while our friends are on the beaches, and we're here in the snow.
But what I was thinking, and if this is the same one, I'm going to die. Was Jeff Jones starting in the outfield?
I don't remember that.
Because I remember this guy coming up from Double-A, and it was Jeff Jones, and I remember it snowed. We were at Benassy's basement.
Yes, the same one.
Yep.
Yeah, they had to bring the Zamboni machine out and clear off the field because
I do remember
it snowed
that.
A whole bunch.
Yeah,
God, we were so mad because
everybody's
in Florida having fun,
and we're in a cold watching the Reds.
Yeah,
but we got out of school somehow. Somehow we got out. Somehow we left a little early or something. No, it was at 2:15.
It was spring break.
Spring break. That's right.
Yeah. So
you just said that.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for inviting me to that opening day.
Well,
that's all good.
No,
it's cool.
I got asked actually.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Kyle Black and Doug asked, and all these guys.
No, my boss, Pete Deloise.
Yeah. That's all right. It's cool.
It's fun though.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I've actually been to some cold days down there too.
Just the Reds games in general. We've had some pretty awesome times at those Reds games. I mean, it's always a good time.
Always a good time,
especially when there was Caddies and Flanagans.
Yeah, we always went there afterwards. But it's nothing can be as nice as friendship is getting Riverfront Stadium tickets in the top 26th row, and you had a broken foot.
Yeah, and so you get tickets and you get up to the top row, right?
I know it.
That's cool. Broken leg. Yeah. I'll hop up there while you're up at the top waving to me with a beer. That's nice.
My gosh.
No, that's good.
No, I'm still optimistic about the Reds, Danny. I know they're predicted to be 500, and I'm not sure that's going to be good enough to get to the playoffs. But I'm hoping that some of these younger guys are going to produce. What the shame thing is that if they do, we're probably going to lose them.
Well, that, and they got David Bell as a manager.
Oh my God! Is there any coaches that you like?
Only when they win.
See,
I know. I thought Tommy Tuberville was a good hire when it happened. Seriously, I did.
How'd that work out?
Oh, it was horrible.
I know.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Steve, you know me.
You got to give him a chance.
I've given them a chance, and look what they did.
They went to the playoffs.
But did they go to the playoffs?
Coach Taylor went to the Super Bowl.
Look what they're doing right now.
Well, it's not his fault.
Who? David Bell?
Yeah.
Well, when he makes stupid moves, it is.
Well, he hasn't made a stupid move yet. They're up 1-0.
Hey, we'll turn it back on.
They're down
9-2. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, so you got an are you kidding me?
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
The Reds should be opening day. Like you said, that's what I'm going to do is my open. I don't care that they were on strike, whatever they were. They should have worked it out where the Reds open is the first game. They're the first franchise in history. They should have opened up.
Seriously, are you kidding me?
That is my kidding me.
Well, so you're all about tradition.
I do. I mean,
the first team in Major League Baseball.
They should play first, no matter what. It shouldn't be, they play on that day with somebody else. It should be just them alone and nobody else.
Well, I heard Marty talking today and just saying how shameful it is, but it's all about the money.
It is.
The TV.
It is. There's no doubt about it.
That's what drives it.
Yep. So what's yours?
All right, so here's my are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Well, wait till you hear this. Are you kidding me? So the Reds have 9 players that currently make over $3 million a year. Out of the 9, there's 1 player that is not even on a team that is making over $3 million. Ken Griffey Jr. I got the stat here. He's making $3.6 million this year from the Reds, and he last played for the Reds 12 years ago.
God.
So he deferred all that money from his last contract, which helped the small market Reds.
Right.
But he hasn't played in 12 years, and right now he's the 7th highest paid player on the Reds, and he's not even going to play.
When does that end? That contract?
2 more years.
Jeez.
2024. Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
That's crazy.
But to break down the numbers thing, I was just telling you before we went on the air about Joey Votto. All right, this guy makes $25 million a year. 162 games, that comes out to about $155,000 a game.
Wow.
If he averages 4 bats a game, that's $38,500 and something per at bat. Whether he strikes out or hits a home run, he gets $38,000 plus.
That is crazy. And I know for a fact that you did that math before you came on air. There's no way that you figured that right up in your head real quick.
No, it's one of my gifts that I have.
Yeah. Which is what?
Math.
Cheating?
No, I use my phone to calculate on my phone.
Oh, God. No, but that's so that's kind of our wrap up. You got anything else that you want to throw in here?
I'm all in. Win or lose, I'm all in. Bengals Reds.
Hold on. Everybody hear this right now. He's all in right now.
I'm all in.
We're going to come back on one of our podcasts and he's going to tell us the season's over. So we'll see what he says.
Well, I bleed red. That's all I can tell you.
I don't know. So that's kind of our quick Dingo and the Coach opening thing on since opening day on the Reds and the Bengals. So very excited to get this one in, and hopefully we'll catch you guys next week. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So for the Dingo and the Coach, you've been listening to the Dingo and the Coach podcast. We'll catch you guys next week.